All right, Kevin McNamara, KevinMacSports.com, WPRO in studio. What do you think of our new digs for the last year?
I love it. I liked your old digs, but this is big time.
I know.
There's a lot of lights that really brighten up a nice sun-filled face.
I know, looking handsome over there, Mr. Irishman. All right, we're going to run around the sports world here. Let's start with the Red Sox. If I had told you a few months ago they'd be in first place and have the best record in the AL, what would you say?
Very surprised, no question about it. A little disappointed in the Yankees, in all honesty.
Yeah.
The Red Sox have been blessed with a few things. Health. None of their starting pitchers have missed a start. That's huge. Matt Barnes has been basically an all-star.
Yeah.
And the crux of their lineup, again, great health and great performance. If everything can stay together, they'll be there right through September.
Getting through the goo stuff. Even Garrett Richards the other day rallied a little bit. So I know, and a good point on the Red Sox is while they may not be the 27 Yankees, who else in the American League, maybe besides the Astros, are that great? You know?
Yeah, the Astros. I think they're very strong. I'm not in on Tampa. You know, everyone's telling me Tampa's going to be there. Tampa is always dangerous. They obviously have a great program. The Yankees, though, have been a huge disappointment. They were the heavy favorites. Their pitching is banged up. Their defense is not what it should be. And is Aaron Boone even going to survive? You know, he's certainly on thin ice right now. All
right, let's switch gears to the Celtics. When we spoke a few weeks ago, when the Ainge turnover happened with Brad Stevens, you mentioned Ime Udoka's name at the time. I was really impressed with him on his press conference, said all the right things, even jabbed his new boss about the assists, 27th in the league. What do you make about the hire and how he'll take over the Celtics?
Well, you know, let's cut to the chase. They clearly were going to hire a minority. I know that they've denied that, but they clearly were. I think this guy should have been a head coach in the league maybe a year or two ago. Interview with the Knicks, interview with the Bulls, has great pedigree with the Spurs, some international play. Knew Tatum and Brown and Marcus Smart, helped an awful lot. You know, he's an NBA guy who's been around great players, and that's exactly what you're looking for in the NBA.
I think he's going to be a good fit. All right, the Patriots start camp in about a month. You have Stephon Gilmore holding out with the contract. Obviously, the big topic will be the quarterbacks. What's your view on the Patriots? Because they have a good roster, but they have to figure things out under center.
Well, we'll talk about quarterback in a second, but all of these free agent signings, which got everybody excited, me too. You know, their roster was really thin last year. They plugged it with one big name. Can they hit on all of them? They almost have to. They have to hit at tight end. They have to hit at wide receiver. They have to hit in the pass rush. So that goes back to the quarterback. If the majority of those hit and they still get subpar quarterback play from Cam Newton, you wonder how long Bill Belichick will go. I am not a Mac Jones should play right away guy. I don't think Mac Jones will be ready to play until midseason, if that. To the point where I can't wait for these exhibition games and see what the kid can actually do.
It's been a while since preseason games have mattered around these parts. All right, we were talking about this earlier. All four teams, Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, if you had to choose who has the clearest path to a championship right now, who would it be?
Well, you know, I'd take the opt-out and say maybe nobody in the next 2 or 3 years, but I'd go with the Bruins. You know, I do think that the window is certainly closing, but it remains open as long as those core guys can remain healthy, you know, the Pasternaks and Marchand and whatnot. They need some help. And I think Don Sweeney knows they need some help. And obviously goaltender is a really important thing. I don't think Tuukka Rask will be an impact player again because I think that Jeremy Swayman is going to steal his job next year.
Swayman may be the guy in between the pipes. All right, the answer, I said the Patriots too, but I don't feel great about that. Well, they have too many teams in front of them in their way, and the quarterback position is important. All right, last one, college basketball. The national what are the letters for the?
Sure, it's name, image, and likeness. NIL. Yes.
Name, image, likeness. So college players can benefit off their image, likeness, jersey sales, commercials, video games, so forth. Is anyone good enough or big time enough at Providence or URI? Will we see this happening? Will PC players be, hey, Audi of Warwick, I'm David Duke, come buy an Audi? What are we going to see with this?
I think the answer is yes. So first of all, I'm not into the social media enough where I can monetize my social media. Maybe Nate Watson can.
Sure.
You know, potential All-American type player. I think that's easy money for these guys nationwide right now. But if Providence and URI want to compete in their leagues, they're going to have to get the local community, the local businesses to want to do business with their best players. It's going to be that dramatic a change because I can tell you one thing, the football schools, they will definitely do it for their best football players. That'll filter down to men's basketball. And, you know, some of these Olympic sports, some of the great swimmers in Florida,
Sure.
Gymnasts at UCLA. They are huge international names. Their social media accounts already explode. They could make some good money that way.
That's a good point. If you're the quarterback of Alabama and you do a car commercial or, like you said, social media, the cameos, if for some kid's birthday party or bar mitzvah, you give them a shout out. Brave new world in college basketball. All right, he's Kevin McNamara. Thanks so much for joining us, touching on all these sports topics of the day. We'll have much more from the Sports Wrap coming up right after this.